Hey, welcome back to part 2. And here what I've done, I'm already done now, is I've straightened out this arrow shaft of red osier. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off the last couple of inches there where you really can't get it too straight. It's hard to grab. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back here. That's why you cut them longer than you need them. And I went ahead and used some olive oil and just put it on the shaft all over and then straightened it. Now you don't want to worry about the little undulations where the arrow shaft's going to zigzag back and forth as you go down the arrow. If you tried to remove all of them, you would remove so much of the material that you would lose all your spine. Making arrows, you want to make them in sets. Ishi liked to make his in sets of 5, so that's a good number to go with. So what you would do is you would straighten 5 arrow shafts, then you would work down 5 arrow shafts, cut 5 arrow shafts, sand 5 arrow shafts, carve your lightning grooves in 5 arrow shafts, fletch 5 arrow shafts, and then put the arrowheads on 5 arrow shafts. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do 1 arrow all the way through. I'm going to show you 2 different styles of fletching you can use. Here's one river cane arrow shaft arrow that's completely finished. I like to taper the tips of my arrow for penetration from the thickness of the regular shaft down to just a little bit thinner. I think that helps with penetration. This is your typical 3-feather fletch. This is your typical Cherokee 2-feather fletch. You can use either one of these, and in fact you will find both styles mixed in with each other in my quiver.
Lightning, if you add that to the shaft.
For the lightning grooves, as Thad talks about right here.
But the practical side of these lightning grooves, if you cut them in this shaft and then you heat the shaft, the top ridges, if you cut 3, and there was usually 3 cut in the shaft, you cut 3, you get these ridges at the top of the groove, and you'll have 6 ridges. And when you heat it, those ridges kind of crystallize. They get hard. Right where the top of the groove is angled, where the shaft comes around and the groove goes down, that top ridge gets harder than the rest of the shaft. And it acts like a stiffener. And you'll actually have, if you cut 3 grooves, which I always do, you'll have 6 stiffeners on this arrow. It works. It helps to keep these hardwood shafts straight.
And that to you, that's a real good DVD. Again, this isn't a commercial, but the small amount of video you just saw was on this DVD. I would go ahead and go to BeckhamOutdoors.com and I would purchase this DVD. This DVD is also, you can go to PrimitiveArcher.com and scroll down, you'll see it on there. It's advertised. It's true. Some people try to say that the blood grooves are to help blood flow out of the wound. That's not really true. But like he said, it crystallizes and hardens at the tips and of those grooves and helps keep your arrows straight. So we're going to go ahead and cut them in now before we even cut this arrow to size. Now, real quick, I'm going to show you how I do this. Some people build a tool with a little wall on the side of it to keep you straight. I've read a lot about this. It doesn't matter if it twists around the shaft at all. So I just take a flint knife. You can see I've already cut one. Start over here on the other side, and I just make my way from one end to the other. For the sake of this video not being crazy long, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you the grooves here. And I just cut them from one length of the arrow all the way to the other. All the way to the other side. Alright, we're going to continue this in the next part. I've got 3 blood grooves cut in there. 1, 2, 3. And we'll see you guys in a second.